Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I'm going to share some snippets from my weekend market analysis that I share with my members every weekend. I have a video I put out during the weeknights, Monday through Thursday, and then on the weekend. Here's what I posted on this page, and I keep the others for the month right there also. So you can see this video is about 34.5 minutes long. And I'm just going to provide just a few snippets out of it this morning. So hope you find it helpful. Okay, that's the picture from the ETF dashboard. Let's take a look at our indices. Okay, let me drop this down. Here's the industrials, the S&P, and the NASDAQ 100. The Dow was up 250 points this last week for the third week in a row. Continues to surge. Here's what's jumping out at me, though. Look how we're not getting any push higher on RSI, on DI plus, DI minus. It's not getting more negative. The red line is not getting more negative as the prices go higher. So we've got significant divergence that continues to develop in here. The S&P 500 up 35.6 points for this last week. And again, pretty tight little trading, actually, when you look at that. The range, 68.4 points, the range in here. Same thing, divergence, 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 all over the board, okay? And this is the tightest range for the week since, gosh, I haven't looked at this, but just visually scanning back, March, 61, looks like the tightest week, most compressed week since March. And if you followed me a long time, I talk about how the market compresses and expands, compresses and expands. And when you get significant expansion, then you start to expect that it's going to pause and then start moving in the opposite direction and compressing. So we need to be on high alert for an explosion coming out of this kind of compression that we're getting. The range here, 85. The range here, 85. Okay. And then, as I mentioned right here, the range, 61. So the tightest since March. NASDAQ 100 up 217 points. Now, similar kind of look, although not quite. It doesn't match it nearly to the degree that what we're seeing on the S&P and the Dow Industrials. But we are getting, divergence in here. Okay, so that's the picture there. Let's take a look at the industrials and the transports. So here's the strong transports up 431 points. Okay, so last week, remember they had that big move, and then I think what happened, Federal Express issued their earnings, and then it kind of went, whoops, wait a minute, no, I don't know, and then they come back this week. So right now, that's the way they look. It looks like it's pretty doggone choppy since actually the whole year. Here's the first of the year right here, first week of 2024, okay? And it's been just choppy, swinging between this range of 14.5 and 16.3 is what it looks like. Okay, so let's go back and let's take a look at the Dow Industrials. So on Friday, up 137.89, tried to surge, but then gave it a lot back in the afternoon. Okay, and we just talked about the weekly view. Here's the Elliott wave picture. Let me just go to the weekly first. I'll talk about, here we're in this fifth wave. This is the way it looks to me. And, I think we've got an ending diagonal pattern going on. We've got the divergences I've talked about. And let's just move this over a little bit. And here's what I'm looking at. This is the way it looks to me. Looks like zigzag, 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 expecting a zigzag. Wave 4 should overlap wave 1 in an ending diagonal. Well, it must in an ending diagonal. Once we get the zigzag pattern for this, let's just move this over here a little bit and bring it down a little bit like this. Then we're going to get a zigzag up for wave 5 to finish off the fifth minute wave within the third minor wave. Okay, so that's where we sit with the Dow Industrials. Move this over. Let me go back to the moving average view. Let's take a look at the SPX. Okay, the SPX. Okay, this was down 720 on Friday, up 35.62 as I talked about for the week. Okay, the picture we've got with this is that we are in a fifth wave. Instead of an ending diagonal pattern, I've got this as an impulsive move. But I keep looking at this. All right, let me just show you the bigger weekly. This is what I think is happening. Okay, this just keeps pushing higher. And when we come over and take a look at the daily, this is what I think's going on. I just don't trust this little move in here. Okay, it just looks like it could be a flat that's developing. And here's what I'm looking at. And you can just see we're not getting a lot of strength in this move. And I didn't move, we did not take out Thursday's high. Okay, so I just think wave 2 of 3 is underway. That's the way I'm calling it for right now. I think wave 2 is still underway, and I think it's developing as a flat. We'll find out this coming week. Okay, let's take a look here at the NASDAQ 100, the NDX. Yeah, I'm going to go with this. Okay, that's it for the indices. Let's look at our indicators. Okay, I'm going to start off with the VIX, and I'm going to move this back to a daily and weekly view. So it was up 159 on Friday. So all of a sudden, a little bit of life kicking in, and it closed right on its high, and it's back above the 10-day moving average for the first time in 2, 4, 6, 7 trading days. We had one. Okay, let's just look at it this way. Of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 days, this is the second close above the 10 in 13 days. So we'll see what happens in here. Okay, let's take a look at the McClellan oscillator, and we got it here. So this bounced up a little bit. It's at a plus 32, so we went slightly negative, then we're at plus 32. But what's interesting is look at the summation index. Look where it's sitting. It's at plus 37.71. Plus 37.71 up in here. It's not giving it to me, but that's where it is. Well, there are only 3 days in the last year and a half, 2 years. Got to go back to February 23. Only 3 days right here that are higher. And that was December 28th of last year, 38.07. December 29th, 38.17. And January 2nd of this year, 38.02. So only 1 day this year had a higher reading than where we're sitting right now on the summation index. So we're kind of up in that rarefied air that it doesn't seem to stay there very long. So that's why with some of these indices, I'm looking for a pullback. I'm not calling for a crash right now. But I'm calling for a pullback on where we're sitting in terms of the wave structure and everything. Okay, let's take a look at the put to call ratio. Let me move this over here. Okay, the 10-day is sitting at 0.55. I really thought we were going to get a 5.4, but we're very, very close because we're starting to get some low readings in here. Okay, so this is coming down. I mentioned this, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. It's coming down, and it's looking very, very similar, especially after this reading here, this 49. Very similar to what happened in mid-July when the market peaked. Okay, and then it's like right around 55. You got the 1 day below 54 that I start to color it yellow. Okay, so we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get here on Monday. But yeah, it's getting kind of interesting right now in terms of the short-term timing. Take a look at silver. SLV down 40 cents on Friday. So that big move that occurred on the 24th, which was Tuesday. And then, then we've kind of been chopping sideways since then. We we took out Tuesday's high slightly on Thursday and then a little bit higher fractionally on Friday. But for all intents and purposes, it really just gone sideways Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But up 45 cents on the week. So, 3 weeks in a row pushing. Now on a weekly basis, we're not outside the Keltner channels. We haven't pulled one of these. We haven't pulled one of these. We're still inside the Keltner channels on silver. And I continue to look at it from this perspective that says we got a ways to go. And silver has got some catch up, quite a bit of catch up. I've talked about that. Catch up to play to get caught up to gold. And it looks like it's breaking to the upside in here. So that is the picture there. No real change in terms of what's happening. Okay, that concludes the video for this weekend. If you felt like the video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, hit that little subscriber button. And head on over to joehenches.net. joehenches.net. You can see it right here on every one of my charts. And check out the website, check out the membership. Everyone have a great week. We'll talk to you on the next video.